thank you to the incomparable Travis Bickle, a.k.a. Travis Heckel. He has a couple of names trying to stay ahead of the law, but he does such great artwork. He does artwork for you, does artwork as he puts out on Twitter and does artwork for all kinds of people. And he did a great Hanna-Barbera style character, me with the tennis racket. I look like a cross between Bud Abbott and fucking Dick Dastardly, I think. But it was cool. I figured out how to, I've been shown this before by Queen Stacy, but I figured out how to save it to my computer top here so I can look at it. I can gaze upon my Hanna-Barbera-ness. But thank you, Travis Bickle. And his son, Aiden.
Aiden's cool, too. Travis is the official art director of the Super Podcast, and I know that I've been working with him for a while, but do you know how I first met Travis? Do you know the story?
I don't know that you've ever volunteered, and I didn't really know to ask.
Well, when we went to Louisville in '95 for Fan Week, remember there were like a group of vans, like there were,
it was Smoky Mountain Wrestling Fan Week in the summer of '95, but since it was like Tuesday, and the Smoky Mountain schedule was off, we were doing the USWA versus Smoky Mountain feud, and so the Fan Week vans came up to Louisville. Is only 4 hours from Knoxville. Yeah, so you could see two territories in 4 hours drive.
And our van, the van I was in, was driven by D'Lo Brown. And in that van, I think, was Jason Campbell, Charles Butera, Masa Hori. And Masa, a great friend of mine to this day, had like a bunch of Japanese newspapers. And you've seen these newspapers. They cover baseball and they cover wrestling.
Yes.
Well, this one covered baseball and it covered wrestling, and seemingly it covered sex, because on each page of this newspaper, there were graphic X-rated photos of sexual acts. And there were multiple women in these photos, but there was one man fucking in every photo. I'm whispering because the kids are up here. Every photo had one guy. And I said, Masa, who is this guy? And Masa very casually just said, well, in Japan, he is the master of sex. And D'Lo heard that, and D'Lo said, what? Let me see that. And, D'Lo saw this and started critiquing his ability versus the master of sex's ability. And it was a really funny thing. And then we went to the show, and of course, it's kind of a legendary show. It's, some people say the night kayfabe died. I've heard it. He said, the last night of great kayfabe.
We didn't kill it. We didn't kill it. It was just the last great night for it. Because... Well, and we've told the story before, and we don't want to branch off here, but the people should go back and listen to that program. But basically, the Smoky Mountain fans cheering for the Smoky Mountain wrestlers because they were the heels nearly caused a riot and had to be police escorted away, including poor Brian Hildebrand, Mark Curtis, who had more heat than anybody on the show. They had to be escorted away from the building by the police.
They had to empty the building. They emptied the building out in the middle of the main event, this giant, 10-man cage match where Tommy Rich is in the middle of the ring bleeding all over the place. I mean, it was like 1983 all over, plus 75 pounds, bleeding all over the place. People are going crazy. All the heels are beating them up. Smoky Mountain's riding high. And the fans turn their attention from the ring to us. And they turn around, they're facing us, they're above us, they're below us, and they're chanting Smoky Mountain sucks at us. And then it got scary. I saw someone go flying down the stairs. Security must have seen someone coming for us and just chucked them. But security emptied out the building, and then it was just us. And eventually we got our police escort out of town. And I don't know, maybe 30 minutes, 45 minutes out of Louisville, we stop at a service station to get gas. And
by the way, Dean Hill, who to this day is involved with OVW but did the TV show for many years, that was still the day. Was he either the announcer or was he still doing security?
He was not only the announcer, he was the guy who got on the mic and said, it looks like we have some Smoky Mountain fans here tonight. Which got it even worse. I forgot about that part of it. Yeah. Thanks, Dean.
Well, there you go.
So 45 minutes or so out of town, we're at this gas station, and there's like a Subway inside, so we're getting sandwiches. And a couple of fans, and, they're not small guys, and they have Southern accents. They come over and they go, are you D'Lo Brown? And, we just had a riot. And D'Lo turns around and he goes, oh, no, man, I'm the master of sex. And he walks off. Well, one of those two fans that came up to us in that service station was Travis Heckel.
Oh my God! Did he have malevolent intent? Now, all these years later, does he admit that they came with evil purpose, or were they just wanting to meet you guys and potentially get a demonstration from the master of sex.
Well, no, it was completely, thankfully benign. They were big fans. They just wanted to say hello, and they didn't really want to meet you guys. I mean, maybe they wanted to meet D'Lo. I don't think they were looking to talk to me and Jason Campbell.
Well, yeah, but I mean, the group, they weren't the anti-Smoky Mountain faction.
No. They were the nice guys.
Couldn't judge a book by its cover just because of that accent.
Yeah, but D'Lo didn't know. D'Lo told them he was the master of sex.